What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Base Damage. Hope y'all are all doing well today, and we have some wonderful guests here to discuss uh, some of their accomplishments at White Plains, New York. We have longtime friend, honestly, I've known this guy for years, Desmond. How's it going, bro?
Hey, doing good.
Mr. Aaron Value himself from back in the day. Actually, do we have to call it? Do we have to call it dingy value now, or which value are we going by now?
Oh Lord.
Since it's 2024, is now Dennis Valley. We're going with
Dennis,
the four kids dub.
Dennis Value. Got you. Okay.
The
Understood.
four kids dub names.
Understood. And we also have a person I just met today, as of the recording of this, Duo. How's it going?
It's going good.
Uh,
Yeah, this is my first time doing this, so
Hell yeah.
it's nice to be here.
I appreciate you being on, man. We've been trying to get this scheduled for a minute. Obviously, White Plains, New York happened back in May. We're recording this at the tail end of August. So, life happens. Hashtag trucking, any other hashtags, throw in whatever. Just scheduling conflicts, but at the same time, we also haven't gotten the final results, or the final Springfest, quote unquote, regionals yet. We had France like last weekend, but even the results for that haven't been posted yet. So I'm like, well, I can't make my wrapping up my thoughts and everything on all the Springfest video just yet. So let's throw this in the mix. Before we get Fall Fest underway. But yeah, no, we're here with these two. The third team member number 3 couldn't make it, but if you want to give them a shout out, by all means, please do so.
Yeah, shout outs
shout
to yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, shout out to my boy Shiba. He was a trooper throughout that entire thing.
And I also heard he was the Caligura player, or the Hololive player in general. So, brother, even if you're not here, you have my respects anyway. I love me some Hololive, so hell yeah. Especially because that's like the Caligura deck is the deck I wanted to play before Gura got hit, and I'm like, ah, shit. So
Yeah, it was such a great turn of events. How initially it was the standby version that was the go-to, and then just a complete 180 after Gura won Worlds.
Absolutely.
Then just everybody just jumped on the Mori Calliope, and I mean it makes sense because it's like it not only does it perfectly synergize with the soul triggers, unironically considering she also has the soul trigger herself, but it's just like you're giving yourself the deck speed, which I think is always, very key with pretty much almost any Weiss deck in general.
Absolutely. I mean, like, people were running 4 copies of the Cali in the standby version anyway. It's like, they were having to run it because of the soul trigger, and I'm like, just run the combo. Whatever y'all want to do, go for it. But I advocated the combo for a long while, and then I was hyped as fuck to see it win Worlds. So anyway, but I was when I was able to go back and watch the VOD after everything was said and done, and we will get into discussing this in just a second. But when they finally were able to post the VOD, and I was able to watch that like weeks later, I was just like watching it, just like screaming at my computer screen, just like yes, get it. So anyway, I was very happy for that. But
also, I got I did message Shiba through Facebook. I asked him if he wanted to mention anything specifically about his experience, just to kind of since he wasn't able to make it.
That's
So from what he sent me through Facebook, he said that this was my first BSF, the first Weiss regional ever.
Oh wow!
Went with Caligura because I felt confident in the deck across the meta. Also, it's because Gura is my favorite Hololive member. Started off great, then felt like I brought the team down and out of contention, but got my dub in top 8. Overall, great experience with amazing people. Learned a lot and picked up hella product that I was missing.
Hell yes, that is awesome. So, your words have been heard loud and clear, good sir. But we also need to discuss the other two as well. So I'm going to move this screen with... Anyway, have to move that over there. But y'all got 8th place. With Chainsaw Man, we obviously mentioned Caligura, and duo you had Slime with Standby Miron.
Correct. Yes.
But Desmond was not running the Himeno Aki shenanigans, and that's kind of the main thing here. And that's
No. Well, what I find really hilarious about that is that I was practicing over and over against so much of the Aki Himeno, only to find out that he's not running that, and I was like, wait, what? And all of a sudden, it's like going into YCS. I'm just like, well, not YCS. Wow. No, I was right.
We see there's a Yu-Gi-Oh player among it. No, you're good. You're good.
It's like going in Springfest. It's just like, wow, this is a thing, and I'm just I will say for the first that was my first Springfest 2. It was my first time actually doing it, and my expectations were a bit on the negative end with some positive bravado.
Okay.
So, but
that's
getting into that.
No, you're good. That's with any regionals, especially because I've played Yu-Gi-Oh regionals. You go in expecting the worst. So I get that. So, but I have each of the deck lists pulled up, so we'll go through each of them. I guess to go ahead and knock it out really quick since Homeboy isn't here. Just to show off the Caligura build really quickly. I've looked over this and I honestly think it's really good. I very much enjoyed some of the looking through and seeing some of the text in here. Like I said, I'm just going to kind of like go through it on screen really quickly. The Watame like tech at the level 0 I thought was crazy, but at the same time I was like, okay, this is good. The Noel obviously at level 3, but just wanted to showcase that really quickly because I wanted to go ahead and talk about this build with Chainsaw Man. And we'll have to save the best for last. Clearly, Slime. But obviously you're not doing the Himenoaki. So you have Himeno in here. Obviously you got like the anti-change, but yeah, it's whatever. Because we were talking about the ban list with like, Gura obviously got hit, but obviously Chainsaw Man got hit really hard. But this was like this is untouched by that completely and totally. So also Makima. Hell yes. Anyway. Also, so you run the... okay, so this makes a lot more sense now. You run the Makima climax, but she can grab hers anyway.
Correct.
So it just doesn't matter.
Yeah. So. Like, it is ridiculously consistent.
Gotcha. All right, so I got it pulled up. Just feel free to walk us through like your thought process here. So why this build? Why this build in particular?
Okay, I guess one thing for starters is I did play the Aki Himeno deck back in Duluth, which was like, I think if I remember correctly, that was like 2 weeks before White Plains. And
I think you're right.
So unfortunately, when I played in Duluth, I started off really well, going undefeated in the first 3, and then the rest of my matches, I just ended up flopping really hard. Key reason for that was because I just never saw the cigarettes like at all.
Oh, fun.
Twice in a row. Yeah, the crazy thing was that 2 games in a row, I lost all 4 copies of Easy Revenge to clock going into level 1.
Oh,
that happened twice, and I was like, I was just so like, oh man, that was devastating.
Welcome to Weiss Schwarz.
Yeah, like I was just like, yeah, I'm cooked. Like I was like, there's no way I'm making it to top 8 with this. But other than that, I mean, for what it was, now that unfortunately now that it is basically banned, not like banned, but essentially now that it's been hit.
Yeah.
Basically now the deck's more or less cooked, and I did enjoy it for its time. And I will say between the 2 decks though, I personally like the choice build more, just because I would say one very primary reason is Pochta, because I think he's cute, and I absolutely love his effect.
Absolutely, I pulled it up immediately as soon as you said it. I was just like, yes, just
adorable. So I firmly believe this deck is a lot more fun than the Himeno Aki deck. I just love being able to, as I mentioned, Pochta. It's great to use that ability to have access to basically all the level 3 Chainsaw Man. So you just have a lot of variety of how you want to go about your end board at level 3. So that variance just, to me, is a lot more fun.
Exactly, and you got 2 particular ones in here, but there were several different Chainsaw Mans throughout the entire set, so if someone wanted to make a variation of it, it's like you said, you just plenty of just different options, just in terms of you could say, as I pull up the climax because I'm making puns, the choices, anyway, sorry, I'm horrible with puns today, I just got back from work, anyway, but okay, so we're sitting on the Power level 1 combo, Fiend's Everyday Life, which also makes her a level 2 Slayer. Just anyway, I remember going through the set when initially like doing like a first impressions thing. It was just like, oh, this is interesting. Okay, and then the Devil Hunter Feared by Devils, blood-soaked declaration of war. If you find me, more titles that are metal like this. Anyway, the level 3 climax combo for that, which I actually think this is really good, and I kind of advocate for it. It's like one of the cheaper double rares. I'm just like, please, people, run this. And obviously,
it's a solid finisher.
Yeah, no, I remember just like looking at it, and I'm like, I mean, it's like people. And I understand where this is coming from, where so much of the meta and so much of what people prefer has pivoted so far away from on-reverse combos. It feels like the moment someone sees, when this card's battle opponent becomes reverse, oh, never mind, gonna go to the next card. It's just the immediate mentality behind some of it. And I'm like, yeah, sure, you have to reverse, but your boy Aaron is not really showing his face anymore. Anyway, I don't know. Like, I feel that's just because of how everything shifted to the standbys and all the other different meta decks. It just, and so many really good finishers, like obviously like Gura, that don't have to reverse. The moment people see that, oh, I have to reverse, never mind, and they just kind of skip over shit. But I'm like, no, this is good.
It's also, and also like memory kit counter is also a lot more prevalent because before it was very scarce back in the day, but now like Bushiroad basically like practically every set now has a memory kick. Like I can't think of any like since like I think I'm gonna like ballpark it like 2021, 2022. I think like practically every set gets a memory kick counter at this point.
I've seen them in trial decks. Like going through like some of the first impressions videos, I've seen them in trial decks. So 100%, they're like extremely common at this point. So I get that, and I understand that, but most people run a singular memory kick, and you can tri-field this. It's like, okay, yeah, you're stopping the one. I don't know. Maybe that's just me being a boomer, but I don't know, whatever.
That's the one thing that's also nice about him is that like getting the ping 1 before you deal damage and then the on reverse effect. So like the fact you're still being able to proc that beforehand is always very nice because let's say you're just a tad bit short, if you end up like saying like you end up having the tri-field and you're not able to pay, like, considering it's a pay to discard to, unless you're ending up like hitting a bunch of choice triggers off of like all 3 of them and just being able to supplement both your hand and stock.
Exactly.
Paying for all 3 is going to be very difficult, but as long as you're getting off of at least 2, I'm pretty sure you're good to go at that point.
I agree.
Especially also what's also nice about the ping ones as well is that like you can guarantee that they go through because of the on reverse effect, because you shoot them to top of deck. So if you're shooting your opponent to like 3-5 or even 3-6, you're guaranteeing damage that at that point, because the burn 1's going to be the character you just reversed and sent there
very easily. And if you do that early on with like one of the first ones, the later ones you're like, okay, cool, we're just gonna side, and we're just gonna like poke for just little increments, but people don't think about that. People just like to read the card at face value and go, oh cool, Gura says and wins. But just like, no, I like going out, looking at, thinking outside the box and going, hey, Aki is cool, clearly, minus when you're cigarette events get tossed into your clock 2 games in a row. Outside of that, like, very, very consistent deck, and it was very powerful. It got hit for a reason.
Yeah.
But it's not the only thing that exists. It's like, come on, y'all. Anyway.
Yeah. And then, so I guess, with back to, I guess, what I was explaining with this deck.
Yeah, go for it.
And then also, the main primary reason why I played this deck is because I will say, I think this might have been before, or this might have been like a few weeks after it came into English, that when I saw the second place Worlds build in JP, which basically that build inspired my build essentially, because the second place Worlds build was 6 choice and 2 door. They were playing the Makima Climax combo just like I am.
Hell yeah.
And so the main subtle differences between my build and the JP build is the JP build plays way more one-ofs than I do, and they also play the Lollipop event that goes with the
the negative soul.
Yeah. So I did play that initially for playtesting purposes. I ended up cutting it and added another Makima, which is why I play 3. I used to play 2 Makimas, but ended up bumping it to 3 because I just found too many instances where I just always kept clocking the Lollipop event and just never used it. Because majority of the time, what always ended up saving me from like losing games into like level 3 was usually the free fresh counter, the Aki counter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so and then what else?
Which is this
I think that's, I guess, pretty much, like that's as my explanation goes. Like I basically play this being inspired by the second place Worlds build. And I guess going down through the lineup, so pretty much with the level 0 lineup, I just playing the typical 4 of Denji because he's great card, being able to sit at 3,500.
Honestly, yes.
And being able to chase, basically be able to bully level 0s majority of the time.
Very much so. Quick question. So how much did you have to pay for the level 0 Makimas?
Well, thankfully, because I picked up a case, I pretty much pulled like 7 copies of it.
Gotcha. Did not know that part. I was like, okay, I don't know what all he's had to, because I know these things were pricey at one point. I didn't know how pricey they still were. So that's fair. But sorry, continue.
Yeah. So yeah, thankfully, I pretty much had a playset of everything. So 4 of the Makima. I mean, that's definitely self-explanatory because like,
too good.
I mean, she's your utility. She gives you basically she's our Clock Ricky searcher. She works off of obviously she's your early play condition for Makima. And then, playing the power from the trial deck because that card is just overall very good.
Yes.
The Poch die I already explained. The Poch does really good for the fact that at level 3, he gives you a lot of avenues how you want to go about your level 3 end board with Chainsaw Man. Because you could literally play whether if it's going to be your Climax combo finisher, the trial deck Icy Tail finisher, or if you end up playing him, which I think is a very funny card, is the one that does the effect where when you direct attack, you can like it's like discard 3, you stack some cards on their you stack a couple cards on top of their deck, and then it's like you're hitting for like essentially 4 or 5 damage potentially.
Yeah, something like I know which one you're talking about. I can literally see it in my brain. I just don't remember the exact line of text. But gotcha.
Yeah, so that's like the thing I like about Pochta. So like having him being just sitting on board available just to being able to assist you with your endgame board is really nice. And then I play the one-ofs for the Makima and Aki Climax swappers.
Yeah.
So basically having both of them as tech one-ofs allows you to basically cover your bases on both searching out the Climax or getting back the Climax from your waiting room. So having, either or allows you to basically cover both bases. So you're like, okay, hey, if I need a waiting room, just get the Aki, or if it's still in deck, go get the Makima and just pay 1 to search out and swap out your Climaxes.
Okay. And the Aki one is it's a copy of the one from Audifureta, if I'm remembering correctly, where you sack another character on stage instead of having to pay stock for it.
Yep.
I think it's Audifureta. I might be misremembering. I love the Overframe rare, by the way, just saying. No, I do not want to download the latest Firefox update. Chill. Just like all of a sudden this little window popped up. I'm just like, okay, anyway. But okay, so fairly, like you said, very easy to like understand like the one-ofs and just other, like obviously some of the other techs as well is just really useful it seems. So,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, keep going. Sorry, the Firefox distracted me with that. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Carry on. Carry on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Power. I mean, I play Power because she's my favorite. I mean, I would say she's my favorite waifu in Chainsaw Man. So, but I also say she's a lot of fun to use and also great to beat over with level 2s as well.
Yeah,
So,
no, it's like, oh look, if you have like standby targets already out in the center stage, like she gonna punch. I guess she gonna jump off of a building and slam down with the blood hammer, but that's a little on the nose there. She's really strong. So
yeah,
I just
so
like
yeah, funny enough.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so like funny enough, I don't think it really that part of the combo never really came up for me because like normally I would just have her with having her under the Aki assist and just like hit for like 75 to 85 and just have her sit on board as much as possible at level 1.
Oh, he works with choice triggers. I pulled him up because I swear I don't remember reading this ever. Okay.
Yeah, so the 1/1 Aki, the key thing about him is that when you play a choice trigger, basically the Denji level 0,
this one, yeah.
in all your zones turns into a choice trigger.
Okay. Okay. More twin drive as well.
Yeah, so potentially.
Okay.
So basically, if you hit Denji while you're playing the power combo, or even when you're playing the Chainsaw Man finisher, hitting that Denji just does leagues for this deck. Like building up so much stock or building up enough hand. But for me personally, I normally when I hit the Denji, I always choose to put put a soul trigger character into stock. That's so fair. That way it gives me like so much to like work with, especially with Makima, and it just makes it so much easier to play, and also set up like pretty much exactly what I need for Chainsaw Man.
Gotcha. I legitimately was like, oh, this is the secret spice. Okay, I'm liking this. It's weird also.
Yeah, and considering that,
go ahead.
Yeah, so considering that I don't play a lot of green because my green is pretty like minimal. Like I only play like 9 green. So what I do normally to typically make sure I guarantee play Aki is normally when I start off with 1 Aki, I'll always clock it and level with it.
Okay.
So that way, when I go into level 1, I'll always be able to play Aki without having to worry about getting color restricted.
That's fair. So that's your goal, assuming that you're also probably also going to take more than just going to level 1. You'll have green and yellow basically at that point. Okay. I got you. I'm connecting the dots here. Okay. So, all right. Any other like crazy shenanigans for this before we move on to the slime build?
So then I guess with the Pochta, I run the 2 copies of the Denji that works off of it. That's kind of the key. That's like the key card that allows you to be able to play out the Chainsaw Man for a lot cheaper.
Yeah, because you don't have the fusion combo. I say fusion combo, but it's the Gurren and combined thing. You don't run that, which is completely fair. That's totally cool. That's to each their own. I just noticed that, and I was like, I was gonna ask, did you just never see that come up? Or do you just didn't like even put it in there to begin with?
Yeah, I never played it to begin with because I figured that it would be more efficient to just play the start of the battle Denji, just because. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, it's just a matter of by level 3, it's a matter of just setting up your end board. So he is more. So I basically I play the trial deck Chainsaw Man finisher as more so as a means to supplement with the Chainsaw Man combo finisher.
That's fair.
Because since the fact that he also lets me dig up to 3, so that's also another avenue to be able to grab the climax card.
Yeah, true. Because the other one he heals, he doesn't dig. This one does. Got you.
Which I will also say one highlight with the trial deck finisher, that gave me practically a win, was the fact that actually two highlights.
Go for it.
The one highlight is one of my matchups. I guess I'll do a quick rundown of my matchups. So my matches into BSF were, my first round was like versus Recoil. Then my next 2 were Gura, which I won straight up.
Oh, fun.
Then on my fourth match was Bar Choice, Spy Family. I would say that was probably my favorite matchup in that whole event, because it was definitely something I would say I had never seen before and thought was a very unique, interesting build.
Mm-hmm.
And so going into that matchup, when I used the Trial Deck Chainsaw Man, I ended up using during the opponent's turn, I ended up using the effect because I believe he crashed into it, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So he ended up crashing into it, and then I used the Chainsaw Man effect, and then when I had him Icy Tail for 4, I hit 3 climaxes out of it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, it was absolutely insane. That was the main reason why I won that game, just because like sniping those 3 climaxes off of that one Icy Tail was just absolutely nuts.
I just imagine being in this guy's shoes and he's just like trying to pull like a fucking light Yagami, going, I'm going to put these 3 climaxes in the bottom, and he's never going to be able to kill me that way. Yes, I might take the refresh damage, but it doesn't matter. Wahaha. I'm just going to crash into this silly little level 3. Oh, you can use that on my turn? What?
Yeah. And then funny enough, it kind of also more or less happened again with my 5th round, which was the Aki deck.
Okay.
Round 5. And pretty much we went into time. We decided to play it out just because that was our first round that we lost, but since we were like the last ones playing, so we kind of played into time. I guess we kind of played into time, but we pretty much were playing it out. Actually, no, we didn't play into time. What am I saying? We knew we had already lost the match because I think we had like 5 to 10 minutes left.
Uh-huh.
And so pretty much we just played it out to see like who would win.
Yeah, just for kind of shits and giggles at that point.
Yeah. So I ended up getting him to 3-6 with I ended up getting him to 3-6 with the Chainsaw Man Icy Tail finisher.
Uh-huh.
So then then the funny thing too is that before I did my turn, I survived triple Aki before going into my turn.
Oh.
So then I got him to 3-6. I was on my Chainsaw Man Icy Tail finisher. Then he ended up top decking the bar, doing the Aki combo again. So then what he ended up doing on his first attack, he crashes into the Chainsaw Man finisher, the trial deck finisher.
Uh-huh.
He completely didn't know that effect was cross turn.
Yeah.
So then when he did the Aki effect, he whiffed, and then I canceled. I activated the Icy Tail, I hit off 1 climax, and I killed him. So the fact that I stole that when he got triple Aki twice was absolutely insane.
You robbed him. Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah, that was so crazy.
Match was over at that point, but he's like, I got this in the bat, and nah. That's crazy, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Lesson of that day was make sure, and then once Duo gets to his to his explanation of his profile, like the lesson for that event was definitely when you go into BSF or BCS. Make sure you read your cards.
Yes.
It really matters. It could definitely make a difference between a win and a loss.
From one Yu-Gi-Oh player to another RTFC, one straight up. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like
that hurts
that was
to
crazy.
Hear, but at the same time, I love to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Man's like, I'm living on one life and a dream, and they're just Chainsaw Man be like, nope. There's a reason he's the most feared devil in the underworld. So, man, because he kills you on your turn anyway. But yeah, no, okay, so that's insane. I prefer this build vastly. Like, I have most of these cards, and I prefer this build over the Himeno Aki, just mostly because out of spite. But obviously, can't play that version anyway, so whatever. But
yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. Definitely gonna be looking out for this build in the future. I need to look through the JP winners, honestly. I never keep up on the JP side, and I honestly should keep up with it more, but that's what
I ended up finding out about the build through Weiss Discord, and I remember seeing somebody, I think they post a link or an image of it, and when I looked at it, I kind of, again, I used it as a means to kind of like study it and try to like understand it. And like I said, like the build is really good. And again, my build is based off of it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a few differences with it. I definitely don't run as many one-ofs because the JP build ran a lot of one-ofs. Like for me, I was like, I dig the build, but I was like, the one-ofs made me feel a little bit iffy. So I was kind of like, I'm gonna make maybe a few adjustments, kind of more towards my play style and preferences.
Yeah.
So once I got to this build and I was practicing and playtesting it within locals, this deck on top of the Himino Aki deck were giving me a lot of great results. That I was very satisfied with this build going into BSF. By the time New York was along the way,
mm-hmm.
And overall I'm very satisfied with this deck. And even since then, after BSF, I've just been freaking killing it with this build, just because and I gotta say also, like, on the record, the fact that I played the Makima early play combo, I hate Makima with a passion in the series. However, the amount of shenanigans I've pulled with the level 3 Makima combo via drawing into her and also top decking her climax card has been just absolutely insane. The amount of times that this card just comes up for me and I just absolutely will just obliterate people's board, or will just sit on her for like 3 turns and just bully with her is just absolutely nuts. Like I've had plenty of games with her where I would just straight up win just because of just playing Makima and never just ever play Chainsaw Man whatsoever. And I'm like, I'm supposed to be playing Chainsaw Man, but I just keep killing people with Makima.
She knows how much you despise. She's like, I'm going to make you change your ways. So
it's a very love-hate relationship that somehow works.
Somehow is beneficial in the long run. It's like, okay. Beware of toxic relationships, kids. Anyway, but all right, so definitely gonna be looking out for this one in the future. I see the spicy tech now. I've learned. But we are gonna give Duo a chance to talk here. Apologies for taking so long here, bro.
No, it's cool.
But we are gonna be looking at the slime. So obviously, this is the Muron Standby. I see you have the both versions of the Muron in here. Mm-hmm. Also, I saw this was the Milim SP, the Dragonoid Milim SP. That looks very nice.
Yes, it was. Yes, it is.
Ooh. I know. I don't remember who it was, but I remember looking through one of the other slime builds and just seeing like every single one of their like key cards had had all the SPs and stuff like that. I'm like, damn, these look so good. But I love the Dragonoid Milim. That looks so nice.
Oh yeah, I pulled this one luckily when Slime first came out. Got 6 boxes. Ooh. I pulled that and the Shuna.
Okay.
No, not the Shuna. It was that and the Shizu. Sorry, the level 1 Shizu.
Gotcha.
That got banned.
Yeah, exactly. So were you running that version before the hit?
But before the hit, I was running 8 pants.
Gotcha.
And.
Okay. So I mean, very fair, because I mean, it was like very, very powerful. So I mean, like it's
yes, it was.
But I love.
I do not care about my board.
Exactly. I love so much how they're like, okay, this got hit. We're actually trying to do something to slow this down, but the Alice hit is completely okay. Like, don't worry about it, guys. It can still do stuff. You don't see Alice from then on, and Slime came back the next week with the standby variant, just like, what's good? We're still here. Like,
yep.
It still was a hit, but it felt like it did nothing because Slime just came back the next week like, what's good? We're still doing the same shit.
We just had to think outside the box for a level 1 combo.
Hey, it's like that's what I said when Desmond was like, yo, this thing, and I'm like, genius. Anyway, sorry, I'm not trying to be sarcastic to you. I'm being sarcastic to all the people, the meta sheep. Anyway, kidding. No, I shouldn't start wars like that. Anyway, but no, for real, this is a really cool build. Regardless of how much I saw at top, I still liked the Muron standby stuff because I'm sitting there like, I can do stuff with this. Even if I don't run Muron, I can shove like the hexproof into like some really dumb builds. And I've cooked with some stuff, but anyway, let's let you do the rundown. Like you said, since you mentioned the level 1 climax combo first, do you want to start there?
All right. So I ran the level 1 Rimuru,
Mm-hmm.
the one that has it has twin drive on climax play.
Mm-hmm.
Naturally, the only drawback to this is that he can't side attack, but that's fine because if I manage to have him and have my back row the way I want it to,
Yeah,
he sits at a healthy 7-5, so
say
he will kill something.
Exactly. I would say, especially by the time you get to like, I say level 2, but it's standby. You can still do this at level 1.
Yes.
The Quiet Anger would give 1,000, and then the Muron gives an additional 1,000.
It gives another 1,000.
Gotcha. Okay. I was like, I couldn't remember if it was 500 or 1,000. Okay, so yeah, so like 75, you're clearing shit. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
So and then even on, like defensively, that's still really good.
Oh yeah, most def. But the thing about the Rimmer, I only run 2 copies of this.
So I noticed that.
Yeah, I ran 2 copies of this noticeably because, 1, 9 times out of 10, I do see it more often than not.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like digging for it, and if I don't have it, and that will set up my next level plays if I mill it right.
Mm-hmm.
But if I don't have the Rimuru at all, my next backup is the Yalm and Miron level 1,
Yep.
who sits at 8,000 on that field. So that's even better.
Yeah, because he gets plus 20. I was like, wait a minute, how much? Hold on, 25. That's 4. Yeah, that's 6, and then the 2. Yeah, so 8. And this thing searches out your Miron, the level 2 Mirons, which is what you're trying to set up for anyway. So it's like, okay, cool. You have a wall no matter which way you go for, which is
Now what's really nice on a good day,
mm-hmm.
when I would like to see the Miron come out at level 1 off a standby trigger.
Mm-hmm.
So when that comes out, it's a 12-5 wall at level 1, and you can't do anything about it.
Wow, she's insane, dude. Oh my god.
But getting to some other key cards here now, and my mindset.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Flash Hakuro. This card here came in handy so much.
I have heard so many people sing the praises of this card.
It's simple. It's really good. It disrupts like stuff that goes to the waiting room. It's amazing. On my back row play, it sits at 5-5. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty good.
You're still using this at like level 1 most of the time, and he's just like, what's good with you?
Now, I will say this, and I know you may have seen this in a bunch of other slime builds. I do not run the level 0 Shuna, which
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, she basically is on death. You pay 1, clock yourself, look it up to 2. If their characters add the hand, so the Aqua effect.
Yeah. Future me put a picture of it on screen just for reference. But go ahead.
Yeah. So instead of running her, I ran the Milim level 0, which is basically a 3-5 chaser.
I just read the little the quote text. It just says "nom."
Nom.
I didn't even notice that until now. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But my mental process behind that came while I was testing. I was like, I like this unit a lot, but I do not want to pay 1, damage myself, and get a chance to grab 2, because there was a couple of moments where I milled two climax. I looked at two climaxes and they were gone.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh no. Nah. So
I-
instead of that, I relied on. I took a step back, look at everything that was in my level 0 lineup, and I was like, I have numerous ways to search. So, like the after the battle Rimuru is a really good one. I mean, I damage myself to guarantee I find what I need.
Yeah, it's not the guesswork, which I've had to deal with
Yeah.
that with Hololive. There's an Aqua / a Laplace that does the exact same thing, and I can fully agree with you on that. Of it's a great card when it hits, but when it whiffs, oh, it hurts.
Yeah,
So,
it definitely hurts.
but with this Rimuru, it's guaranteed, like you said.
Yes, it is. The guaranteed find, and most of the time, I am looking for level 1 or lower.
Exactly.
So yeah.
You're the level 1 combo or the I keep forgetting his name. Yelm. I keep wanting to go Rom, and I'm like, that's ReZero. That's okay.
The Yom and Miron.
Yom and Miron.
The pair.
It's just so cute.
But there have been some other cases where I search for the brainstorm. I search for Miron.
Exactly.
By herself. So yeah. Another getting into what was it? Level 2s. Of course. Okay. The level 2 Miron needs no more explanation because
I'm going to show it on screen, obviously, but if you know it, you know it.
She's
very, very powerful. Big wall. Just yeah.
And an impressive plussing engine.
Very much so, especially because, like you said, the previous build was 8 pants, where you just kept, as long as you triggered pants, you just kept playing her combo over and over, and just free. The wins were so free. Is insane.
Yeah, they were.
So, like I said, no more real explanation, but just showing for the sake of discussion. But
another thing for my level 2 plays were the backups that I have to sit on.
I'm seeing a variety here. I actually don't see the Rimuru one pop up, but no, that is the. When you use this card's backup. Okay, so this is an anti-change, but I remember the Benimaru was the memory kick. Okay.
Yeah, Benimaru is the memory kick. Mm-hmm. The Rimuru is the anti-change, yes. And the Ramorous is only here as a last resort.
Yes,
for a number of things.
I've listened to Ben from Refresh Point talk about that quite a bit, of just how amazingly useful this Ramorous is. It's just like everyone needs to run this. I swear, I think I remember him saying, he's like, I've contemplating running too. And I'm like, I get it. But still, I get it. But people are like, why would you purposely give them +6? Yeah, play against it. You'll find out why. So
yeah, because I get the mill out, and I know there's the climax left in there. Mm-hmm. In a small deck, I'm like, please, yes.
Exactly.
But
basic
outside of that. But while I'm on level 2 still,
go for it.
I do want to get into
Please don't tell me my internet just cut out. Hold up, did you come back?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm sorry.
You're good. I was worried that my internet cut out for a half second. I can edit this part out.
Fine.
That's no issue. But you were whatever you were saying. Start back to the first sentence. Yeah.
Okay, so getting back, the Quiet Anger Shuna.
Yes.
In most builds, they use 2 of them. I said no. I said no to this and wanted to pick 3. And I think my buddy Desmond Desmond's the reason why I run 3.
It's just
because one, when I was going against I was playing against him, I was like, oh no, I need a way to circumvent this Makima, or Madison as I like to call her.
Madison.
Yeah. 4K's the 4K's version, she's Madison.
I was about to say, how do you know my ex? Hold up, no, no, you're good.
But yeah, I was like, oh man, I need 2 of them out on the field so she does not touch my board. This only happened once. And my original thought process was I was afraid of the Overlord matchup.
That's fair.
So,
I get that.
Yeah, I was afraid of the Overlord matchup. Never got into Overlord. No, I didn't run into it at Springfest at all.
I was like I know people talked about it a whole bunch, but even during like seeing a lot of the tops in Springfest, it showed up, but it felt so far and few between. I was just like, I don't know if people just ain't running it, or it's just the teams that have it just ain't topping. Like I didn't know what was going on. So. But no, I've noticed that people only running 2, and I'm like, hey, this cat, he running 3. Okay.
Yeah, I ran 3 because I really want to see this card. Yes. At least one copy of it in my hand.
Which I understand the mentality is the level 2 Muron just lets you you tri-field the bitch and you craft your hand. I get that, and standby is also a thing, but at the same time, I'm like, consistency, y'all. Let's go for it. Anyway.
And also the other plus is that's an additional global 1K across the board.
Exactly, especially like you said, if you're able to do the right setup, yeah, it is like, yes, please. I mean, hell, she gets pretty decently sized at that point. If she gets the 2K, if you have to like play an extra copy of her front row, just for sake of argument here, she's getting 2K from the 2 in the back row. So she's sitting at like 8K anyway. So she's fairly decently sized, and you have the plethora of backups. It's like, you're good. Your board cannot be touched. Yeah,
and speaking of that, which supports this, well, getting into level 3, that's where the spicy stuff comes into play.
Oh yeah,
because I like this because none of my level 3s are climax combos at all. They are just off finishers, and I love it.
That's like one of the craziest strengths of this deck, no matter which version, whether you did 8 pants or you did standby version. That was just like one of the craziest strengths of this. I remember when it first when the deck list for it started circulating for it wasn't obviously not Springfest, but even like it was Fall Fest last year, and I'm looking at it going, there's no combos. It's because those are the 2 combos with Shizu, and I'm sitting here going, oh cool, Dragonoid Milm, I have that. How much is she going for now? And she like shot up, and I was like, yes, please make me some money here. So
but
yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna start with I gotta talk about this Benny Maru here because I got into a legit argument with a friend of mine. He was talking about how this level 3 Benny Maru, which is
wait, which one? You
got was it breaking the enemy formation,
breaking their kneecaps. Gotcha.
Breaking the kneecaps. he on field he's a global
15,
and if you reverse somebody, pay 2, burn 1. And he felt like this card was not good, and I was like,
no, this is great.
I firmly believe that's his preference, and that's fine. But my argument to this was, not only does he sits really big, but if you trigger the climax, you can pay that out after you win the board immediately, just to deal in extra damage.
Exactly.
Extra touch damage, which I believe was very important. Just try to keep your stock clean as much as possible. Now, the other Benny Maru that I have, this one is my favorite one because he burns a lot. He has the potential to burn a lot,
and he's strong for no reason.
Yeah, he's strong for no reason. He just burns for everyone +1. But the thing is, I have to set up my levels for that, which it's not hard.
It really isn't.
I just sit and say, okay, red, blue, yellow. that's it. And if I did come into a fix, swinging back to level 0 for a bit, I got the Soe that lets me swap cards out of from my level to my waiting room.
Mm-hmm. That was
So
at
that
0. I see it. Yep.
yes,
There you go.
but getting back, yeah, this Benimaru has helped me out, but not as much as what was it? Not as much as Milim, to be 100%.
Oh yeah,
But I will get to her in a second.
that's fair. I know what she does, but oh yes, we're going to educate people today.
So the next card I have was a Shuna.
Mm-hmm.
No, not Shuna. Shion.
Yeah, these are it's the
Basically,
same card, but it's one's the SR. Yeah, we're just gonna
yeah, one's the SR.
them buttons.
Yeah, she's really good. She's just pure aggression off
Mm-hmm.
rip, and if you cancel her, she still can do a lot of damage.
Mm-hmm.
One card does 3 instances of damage is absurd.
Yes. Gura's like, hi.
Yeah, I know. 3 is just absurd, but yeah, she more often than not, she was like my last resort beater if I needed her, and
Mm-hmm.
she did help. But getting into Milim, Dragonoid Milim, okay, I love this card.
Yes.
The character is not my favorite, but she's a good favorite. But the on top of the fact that she gains attack on your opponent on your swings.
Yes.
So when you swing, she gains 1,000, but on reverse, pay 3, pay 3, pitch 1, clock hit.
It's like,
Oh man.
which we were talking about this. This and the Benimaru is just like Desmond's Chainsaw Man, where it can happen on your opponent's turn if they don't read RTFC. So
Funny you say that.
yeah.
So here's the story here. I went into so first round 1, I was going against Danmachi, so it was
fun
12 up in Bell. So what was it? I think it was Door Pants. Yeah. So I was going into this. It was a knuckle drag battle. We were going back and forth, but I believe the score was he was 3-6, I was 3-4, and I'm sitting here on the other end. I'm like,
oh no,
I think I might die here. Well, I know their climax is in here, but this might be the end. He doesn't go into climax, so I was like, okay, that's a plus. He can't get over the Milim whatsoever. So he swings into it for damage, and I sat there was like, huh? I was like, hold on, wait a minute. So he swings for damage, and I cancel it, and I'm like, on reverse, pay 3, pitch 1, good game.
GG.
Yeah. Oh man.
My God.
I sat there, and the thing was, he did not know what the Milim did,
No.
and I sat there, was like, he asked me, I was like, what? You don't know what this thing does? So I explained it to him. He was like, oh yeah. So he did not read my card.
No.
He didn't ask. I was like, okay. So
my jaw is dropped. I know people can't see it, but oh my! I'm just sitting here in complete disbelief. Oh my goodness!
He killed himself. I was like, oh my lord. I did
in Minecraft.
Anyway.
Yeah, this happened like literally like when the time practically got called in like less than a minute. It was absolutely wild.
I'm certain the homeboy was sitting there for a whole minute just staring at the board and just like,
yeah.
I just gave this man the win. Shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
I just wonder, like, what? But
what did he say?
Yeah, right.
Oh man, that is wild. Oh my. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
This card. This isn't the first clutch play guy, because I think with my other matchups were I went against a your deck in level 2. I mean, not level 2, round 2. I went against your. I lost that one because she he hit really hard and I couldn't do anything about it. I was like, oh no. So I lost that one. My third round, I believe that was when I went against Avatar. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It was Avatar. That was scary because that throughout the entire thing I noticed. I was like, oh man, I'm going against Avatar Aang, and I'm like, oh no. So he had it. He had the setup. It was perfect, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I have Milim sitting out and two other cards. He goes in, he crashes into Milim. I do use the effect, but it doesn't kill him. But what ended up happening instead, I'm sitting there praying he doesn't get he doesn't get four colors. He only manages to do three. He manages to get me to 3/6, and I managed to stay alive.
Oh
And I
my
was like,
goodness.
so once again, I was like, okay, I drew for turn. I still had cards in the deck, thank goodness. So I did what I did and swung for game.
Oh my,
So
that is wild.
yeah. So next up was Chainsaw Man, and this was the Aki build that I was playing against for the longest. And
Mm-hmm.
me playing against that, I noticed that I knew what to look for and try to figure and try. I had to try to work around a lot of stuff. But at the end of the day, my cards would always be bigger, because Miron was
Yeah.
the wall. So that was my goal, to set up Miron, set up the board as much as I could. I do believe that that global 15 Betty Maru was out there, but no. But long story short, that was I managed to get through that pretty alright at the end. Um, I did lose to I lost to Hololive.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that coming. I took that with grace. So I believe he had Gura, but my deck state was so bad it didn't matter. So
You're just like, you got
there
this,
was
bro.
that. Yeah. So it was that. Then I went against another Aki in my next round, and I won against that because he was in a bad deck state. And at this point, I'm just sitting here as like, because of Desmond, I'm just sitting there like, all right, no, Desmond wouldn't have done that. No, Desmond would have had this. Desmond should have did this. You should have did what Desmond did, because that did not happen. Because now this, and it is like the only reason why you lost is because you were not Desmond. So,
I love that reasoning, though.
yeah, it was like you lost because you were not Desmond. Sorry.
That gives off the energy of Kaiba. Like the if you've ever seen, there's this picture of Kaiba like slamming down his like hands onto a desk, talking to a kid, going, "You're a third-rate duelist with a fourth-rate deck." That's all I can imagine. That's the energy that gives.
Oh man.
Future me, do your job.
But round so going into top, which I was really surprised we got. Ooh, I'm truly surprised. Even months down the road, I'm still like, damn, we made it. We made it to top 8. Oh man. So but that didn't last long because my opponent I ran into the mirror and I was like,
Yeah.
and part of me was thinking to myself while I was shuffling my deck, I was like, I should have taken that into account, and I did not. It's fine. Let's play.
So, all right, we got this, and proceeds to just ow.
Nah, we tried, but nah, couldn't clutch it up.
Top 8 though, like you get at those tables, and that's like everyone is in the same, like, how do I put this? It's everything else before that, and I obviously it's like tight games and everything, but it feels like talking about that and the people that I've spoken with about it, it feels like everything leading up to that is the warm-up. At that point, everyone is the top 8. You are primed and ready and thinking of every single thing that could go on. And I'm not saying people are going to be at their peak performance at that point or like their best like mental state, because they're also probably tired. But it's where they've been doing it all day. Everything's much more automatic. Like you know what you're going for in every single card that flips. So
and
it makes sense.
Yeah, while I was in top 8, I was thinking out my plays a lot longer than I probably should have, but at the same token, I was being cautious. I wanted to be like, all right, what can I do what can I do here? What can I do that? Oh, there was a play I was trying to set up Benny Maru.
Mm-hmm.
I had access to my deck, and I was searching, and I was like, all right, what levels are left in here? There were like a couple of 1s, a level 2 level 3s. There were some climaxes in there, so I was like, okay, there's like 2 climaxes left in the deck. There's literally like 12 cards here. Let me grab this and let me grab these zeros. All that's left are climaxes and levels. So shuffle it up, and that's how I could hit with it. So that was a little mini thought process I thought of literally while playing.
So sometimes you just have those epiphanies. You were if you've ever seen Kuroko no Basket, where they call it in the zone. You that's what you were in. You were like in the zone plays. You're like, I see all of them much more clearly now. Wait a minute, I could have done this. And just like everything clicks. I get that. I've been there. I get it, and I love it. Like it's so fun when you're like, I don't want to make it sound like something mystical, like, oh, you transcend. No, but you've been playing all day, and you see plays that you have never thought of, and you're like, yo, oh, that works. Okay, let's do this, and then you like kill somebody.
but yeah, all in all, around that run, I'm still stoked. It was my first Springfest made top 8. Desmond keeps on reassuring me a lot. I did really well for my first time doing this, and I was like, oh, I will definitely go about doing this again.
I know, like you go in expecting, you go in, you don't expect to top, but then when it does, you're like, holy shit, I had to kick ass
like,
today to get here. Like, so no, I get it. I have similar like Yu-Gi-Oh stories, but this isn't about me. This is about y'all. I understand, and I'm very glad for you, man. That's really awesome to have done that. I know Desmond's been playing for years. Like we said at the very beginning, me and Desmond have known each other since like it was pre-COVID, obviously, but back in the days when we would do like all the podcast episodes with like Waifu Wars and them. So I've known him for a long while. I know he's played a lot. But so for someone to be like, hey, I'm going in, I know it's Springfest, but we're going to go in, we're going to kick ass, and it clearly showed. So that's the important thing.
Yeah. So. Well, my first start in this game, man, it was back when Hatsune Miku was a thing.
Yo.
So it goes way back, and I'm like, oh man, that was the first set I went into and ran a deck.
So
and
you played that long without ever having participated in like a regionals?
Correct.
Oh wow. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I went ballsy, and I'm like, fuck it. I'm like, second, third year. I'm we're going to Atlanta. Let's have fun. And just like.
Yeah, I've been playing for a bit, and I just like, you know what? I want to do this. At least once.
It's like, I'm gonna make my mark today. Oh, no, you're
I feel like I feel like with my teammates' help, I actually did.
We said Hatsune Miku. I immediately flashed back to the first Team Fest me and one of my other buddies went to. You probably can appreciate this though. So did you ever play Soundless Voice?
No, but I know about it.
You know about it, okay. The first team regionals we ever went to, one of our other teammates, named Timmy, he went in with Jewel Burn from Fate. It was like, I'm just going to meme. And I'm like, okay, cool. I guess me and Homeboy are carrying. He gets sat across from someone who's also there to meme that day and is memeing and kicking ass with Soundless Voice. His only loss that day was against Timmy's Jewel Burn. Because he's like, that does what? Like, reading like how the cards do. But even Timmy's like, I've never heard of Soundless Voice. Why is everyone giving me this weird look? Like I'm like, bro, you're in a world, gonna be in a world of hurt, and he ends up kicking the dude's ass. He's like, what the hell was that? So, and then that dude ends up topping. I forget exactly where that team placed, but they got like top 8 or something like that by the end of the day. But it's just to like, you said that, and that's what it reminded me of. Sorry, so yeah, no, freaking awesome. Anything else about the deck, or are we moving on to just like finalizing thoughts and stuff?
No, I think I said what I needed to about the deck. I mean, the deck was really, really fun to use, and I pray for another set of slime so I can push it even further.
I know it's got, what is it? It's like 3 volumes right now, right? Or am I thinking
it got season? Yeah, it has 3 volumes right now.
But we're getting another season of anime right now, so I can totally see us getting another one.
We have a movie, an OVA, and another and the season 3. So
look, I just want to get an entire deck of Luminous. That's just me, but I know that's probably not going to happen.
It might.
Here's hoping. Crossing my fingers on that one. I saw like the most recent set that came out. I saw like the singular Luminous card, and I'm like, really? That's it? I know she showed up at the last 2 episodes, sure, whatever, and it was whatever. But okay, so and obviously we had stated before about Homeboy running the Gura. 8th place still out of how many teams was it? Hold on, it said 57 teams, which is still times 3. Cade, basic math here. 171 people, which is still like obviously still huge for any Weiss turnout. To be able to still get to that point. Also, we still don't have. I'm on White Plains. Yeah, we still don't have 2 of the teams here. I think we said that earlier. That's a lot of people to have to go through. That's a lot of games that happen that day. So that is like even if it's people are like, oh, but it's 8th place. I don't care. Like, it's freaking awesome to me to see y'all having got that far. So I sure as hell have never gotten even that point. So I'm like, hey, hell, freaking awesome. So even looking at the other ones, obviously you had like Azuki Gura, Himeno Aki topped, won the whole shebang. There is a Himeno Aki in every other team except y'all. I'm looking at this now. Sorry, ADHD. Anyway, that is freaking awesome. So congrats to y'all, and obviously to third guy. I already forgot the name. Shiba. Okay, my brain was like, I think it's Shiba. So also shout outs to Shiba. So I guess finalizing any thoughts of any other crazy stuff that happened that day, or just like overall experience. I know we kind of covered a lot of that talking in the deck profile stuff as well. But if there's anything else y'all wanted to like wrap it up with, that's by all means. The floor is y'all's. So. Going
into my matches with Chainsaw Man, and this is Desmond's fault too. Every card that I actually saw, I kept on quoting 4Kids versions of it. So I sat there. It was like, oh, Aki? No, that's Alex. It was like Kobeni? No, that's Kathy.
I've never heard these, but okay.
Yeah, we went down a rabbit hole naming these. It was like, of course, Denji is Dennis.
It's like, oh my goodness.
The Makima was Madison. What was it? Oh God, who was the other guy? I called him Keith.
Oh, Kishu, that's Kishibe, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like Keith. Okay, no, that got you.
Yeah, Kishibe was Keith. It was just so crazy. It was like, no, the devil hunters, no, the devils, they're delinquents, and of
I
course,
remember
and of
that.
course, and the public security, no, they're the disciplinary
The
committee. So
disciplinary
that tracks.
committee. Yes.
That tracks. So all in all, I'm just sitting there and I'm just giggling and just be like, oh my god, this is so funny.
For anybody who doesn't understand this or was maybe, didn't see this growing up, 4Kids, when they would get anime and dub it, they would change so much shit. And changing names, changing erasing weapons just outright. You literally had people in Yu-Gi-Oh pointing finger guns. They should have been holding guns, but it's like, nope, he should be holding a gun, but he's pointing his finger like a gun. And you're going, and as a kid, I'm going, why is he what? Huh? So yeah, so this is the reason that all that went down.
Yeah,
I'm crying. I'm laughing and crying.
Basically, go on YouTube and go watch Bully La Bully.
Bully La Bully.
4Kids Kill a Kill.
Yes.
That's honestly how I came up with the 4Kids names for Chainsaw Man, just because of how like ancient that Kill la Kill parody video is. Like, that was like around when I was in college.
That's hilarious. I haven't even seen that. I need to go watch that.
Yeah, it's freaking hilarious.
The best Kill la Kill parody I saw was where it was like a Snoop Dogg remix. It was Weed La Weed.
Oh wow!
And it was, they had edited every single character to just look like Snoop Dogg, and it was great. It was honestly it was very well edited. I think it was Mountain Dew was the YouTuber, and he is also like one of the CEOs of VShojo or some shit. Anyway, go. Sorry, had to derail that really quick, but
then so then a little bit more of the story as to how we got to top 8, because our original ranking during deck check we were 9th.
Yep.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so we were 9th, and then while they were doing deck check, we kind of like were overhearing a little bit about what was going on. So the team that failed deck check was the team that we lost in the last round of Swiss.
Oh shit!
And, yeah, it was wild. So it's like the team that we lost to ended up failing deck check, and from what I understand, at that time is that they failed deck check because one of the players was using oversleeves, and they didn't pass the inspection for oversleeves.
Don't you have to present the deck when you like register for the tournament? Am I misremembering this?
No,
no. They just checked the deck log to see, like, to confirm like it's there, yeah, like it's within the database.
Like they pull up the deck log, but they don't like take the deck and then like scan it, like look through it and make certain. Oh, okay.
No, that's only if you make the top 8 and they actually deck check to confirm.
Okay, I'm misremembering hella crazy then. Okay.
Yeah, so
go ahead.
Yeah, so pretty much, and the crazy thing too is, well, I was also using oversleeves at the time too, because the sleeves that I was using was power character sleeves, and I was using just plain oversleeves, and I think they were like Ultra Pro or something like that. So I was also using oversleeves. So thankfully, like, even I was kind of a little bit worried, so I was like, I should be fine, but I'm hoping there's no technicality that gets us disqualified. So I was a little bit nervous because of the oversleeve rules, because they're definitely much stricter on oversleeves now.
Yeah.
And so thankfully I would say like I sort of passed, but they recommended that I change my sleeves. So I ended up doing that. I ended up buying I think it was like Dragon Shield or something like that.
Yeah.
I ended up like buying Dragon Shields that were the correct size, and then I just ended up re-sleeving them, and then they just checked again, and they were like, all right, you're good now.
Okay.
So thankfully I dodged the bullet on the oversleeves, and I ended up the oversleeves are a little bit old, so I don't blame them for me wanting to re-sleeve, just because like my oversleeves did have just some tad bit of wear to them, but it wasn't like it wasn't like egregious. It was just like, oh, you see a little bit of wear, but it wasn't like
the typical wear.
Deliberate.
Not like, this is, you can clearly tell that when you're looking at the deck from the side, this one little mark right here shows that it's a climax. It wasn't to the point that, like you said, like it doesn't look very blatant, like it was cheating type thing. It's just, these are old.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So what was it when? Me sitting there watching all this was kind of nail biting because I'm sitting there like, oh dear God, no.
So
then when it came to me, I was looking. I was like, you check my deck, make sure everything was there, and it was like, okay, you're good to go. I'm like, oh, it was like, and it was because I just had dragon sleeves. I literally replaced my sleeves that morning. And was running with that ever since.
Okay.
Sheba, he on site, they looked into his deck. How it there were random bins and stuff only because of how he shuffled.
Okay.
So once he showed how he shuffled his cards and all this other stuff, I believe he had to replace like 2 or 3 different card sleeves. He just had to replace sleeves, and he was good to go.
Okay.
At least I believe that's the case.
Gotcha.
Please correct me if I'm wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
That sounds about right. Yeah, because that was like, it was a super clutch. Just like, because deck check can like, sometimes deck check can turn on a dime.
Yeah.
Like, and I could say like from my first top back when I topped with AOT.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if I recall correctly, I also had oversleeves on those, but I was like using a different type of brand of sleeves. I know they weren't Ultra Pro, but
Bushiro just got beef with Ultra Pro. That's all that it knows.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember using oversleeves at that time, and there wasn't really any issues from what I recall at the time when I did my first deck check at the time. And then with this one, it was just kind of like, because they're definitely much stricter now compared to years ago.
Yeah. Which, okay, you talked about being on like sitting there just kind of like nervous. We were Duo, you're not part of the base Discord, but this is something that's happened. Something very similar happened a long while back. One of our other I'm calling him out for this one. One of our other members, Space Cowboy, was 9th place at a different regionals, and something very similar happened, but he was like, well, I didn't top, I'm gonna leave, and he left. So he left, and one of the other guys from Refresh Point was talking in the thing, going, hey, one of the guys failed deck check, they're asking for 9th place, wasn't it one of y'all's people? And we're going, we Space Cowboy sees it. Tell him to hold up. I'm on my way. Like trying to get back through traffic, trying to get back there. And it was just that he did not make it in time. Instead, one of the other guys and someone else ended up taking his place in 8th and ended up doing very well in the overall tournament. So when this happened, when Desmond was talking in the Discord and was like, it's like, yeah, we got 9th place. The first thing Space Cowboy said was, don't you dare fucking leave. You guys wait. Somebody gonna fail. I vividly remember this in the chat, and I'm just dying laughing. Because he was just like, you do not. I need to see if I can pull back up however far back that was. Because we're sitting there, because this happened the weekend that that me and Joe were at an Amazement in Raleigh, North Carolina. So we were in a convention. We're working down in the dealer's room and everything while this is going on. So I'm just like reading this off to Joe as like everything's going down, and I just like Space Cowboy is just like yelling in the general chat, just absolutely losing his mind. It was beautiful. It was hilarious, and just so much fun with that. So I just so y'all were not the only ones sitting there just like on pins and needles, just like come on. And sure enough, someone failed the deck check, and y'all got pushed up, and we're just sitting there like cheering you on. So that happened that day, and it came full circle.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, y'all had people rooting for you for that one. But anyway, sorry, long story. I had to tell it though. It was great. So mostly because I also told the story to the same story that happened to Cowboy to Refresh Point later on, because they were like, "Oh snap, that was y'all," because he had forgotten about it. But anyway, sorry. Okay, so any other closing thoughts? I realize I yap way too much. But any other closing thoughts? And we'll wrap this up in a minute here.
Yeah, I guess so. Closing statements here. I'm trying to make it sound formal with that.
Do you have any final words, Desmond? Sounds really morbid.
Yeah. Nah, I'm just. I will say I'm happy that I have 2 top 8s on my belt now.
Hell yeah.
I was so ecstatic to have it happen in New York, and also redeem myself from the freaking Aki performance that I did in Duluth, because I was just like, I can't believe I fumbled so hard in the last half, and
it happens,
I was happy
bro.
I was able to make up for it.
You're good.
The redemption arc.
The redemption arc is true, very much so. This is called character progression. So.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the true tournament arc.
So, what was it? My final thoughts? Man, it was a lot of ups and downs in there, but I had a great time overall. And I like this team. I want to go in with this team again. It's like I want it to happen. I don't care how it has to get done.
I got you. No, that's very fair. So are are either of y'all planning to go to Duluth and Tampa? Just asking for reasons.
I know life is doing a number on me, so I won't be able to.
I understand.
Well, right now I'm just focusing on focusing on sets right now. I think my main focus right now is Dengeki. That comes out in October.
That's very fair. I haven't looked into it yet, but I've been told to be very scrutinizing when I go looking into that set.
Yeah, Dengeki is one set that I was looking forward to. And case in point, aside from the 8 standby build that I saw that I thought was really dope, some of the cards for Shakugan no Shana is also in that set that can be used.
Joker was telling me about that too, and I was like, oh, fun. We got more.
So there's more stuff for that. There's a lot of stuff that could possibly be used in other decks and sets. On the JP side of things, though, and I'm just praying for it to come out in English. I saw Rurouni Kenshin. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yes.
I saw that I really do like Licorice Recoil a lot. So I will. So I need more reveals for premium.
I got you.
And for it to come to English. But other than that, those are my main wants.
That's fair.
Right there.
That's fair. I am understanding. I'm going to be looking into Dengeki Bunko going, all right, let's see what shenanigans I can pull. So I know people are going to be pulling a lot of Dengeki Bunko, so
yeah. And then mostly everyone's waiting for Fearin.
Yeah, that got I saw that got confirmed dates. That's like November, some shit. Is it November or early December? One of the two. I had to look at it again, but I saw it got like confirmed dates as of the recording of this. So
yeah.
But no, that is awesome. Thank y'all very much once again. Like I said, apologies for scheduling conflicts and that this came out 3 months later.
Hold on one second. Desmond, you're doing the fall stuff, right?
Yeah. So for BCS, I do plan on going to Duluth because I'll be on vacation at that time. That I will definitely be playing JoJo because I gotta rep JoJo because I have quite a reputation on a local level that I am the JoJo player.
You have the
Like,
same reputation in the base damage Discord. Let's be real.
Yeah. Especially like I've played 8-win back in the day so much. Like I've been able to like consistently get like top 4, or even like I think the highest I've ever got like locally is like second place with 8-win.
Mm-hmm.
So like I've done so many crazy shenanigans with 8-win back in the day that they're like I have quite the JoJo reputation that I like to continue and establish. So
You could say
I am excited to have Stardust Crusaders going into Duluth, and then Florida being my home state.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God we got something nice for once
Yes,
after
for real.
8 years.
Yes.
That so Tampa, I intend to 100% go to.
Hell
And
yeah.
I will say that one's going to be a 50-50 it's either going to be 8-gate Jolene, or I'm probably going to be running back Chainsaw Man just because I love playing the deck.
That's very fair.
Yeah.
You could say when it comes to JoJo, you have some golden experience. Anyway,
Yeah.
that was bad. Anyway, okay. So no, sorry. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. That's cool. So hopefully, me and Joe will be seeing you at both of those. So it'll be very interesting. No hard feelings if we end up across the table from each other.
Meanwhile, I'll just join this Discord.
No, you good. You good. I'll send you a link in a second here once we finish up, man.
All right, appreciate it.
Hell yeah. No, I appreciate y'all, man. And so, yeah, sorry, I got wrapped up in the other story, and I was like, oh yeah, I was asking who was showing up for the tournaments and shit. So no. So now we're gonna wrap it up. So now, thank y'all very much. It is greatly appreciated, despite conflicts and all that. And big thank you to Desmond and to Duo, and obviously Shiba. Even though you couldn't be here, you were here in spirit, brother. And that is gonna do it for us. The typical YouTuber shenanigans. Subscribe if you want. If not, hey, it's cool. Thanks for stopping by to hear us rant about card games. If you want to join the Discord as well, as we're talking about, sending a link to Duo here, feel free to check the description below, and there should be a link to the Discord in there if you want to join as well and get in on all the shenanigans, especially when we start having panic attacks when people are 9th place at regionals. And with that, we will sign off for now. Y'all have a wonderful day. Peace out.
Bye.
Peace.